What is going on, guys? It's Lay the House, or I'm here. I'm sharing my NBA plays for this Tuesday, March 25th slate. Yesterday in our video, we went 2 out of 3 in our picks, 2 wins and 1 losses. So hopefully you cashed in on that. For me personally, I actually had kind of a rough day yesterday. I had a very bad read on the Phoenix Suns rotation. I thought Tyus Jones was going to get a lot more run. Same thing with Royce O'Neal. But anyways, we did cash a late night slip for the premium people last night. So my overall record goes to 155 wins, 110 losses, and 13 pushes since February 1st. That is for the free and the premium plays, all posted in my Discord server. The Discord is free to join. It's a completely open community, so feel free to join in and post any plays you want. That link is in the description below. And then if you want to sign up for my premium plays, that link is also in the description below as well. Reach out to me if you want a discount or if you want a free trial for the premium as well. For the slate tonight, we have 8 games in the NBA. We're going to head to RotoWire. I'm going to touch on some of these major injury situations that I want to look at. Let me refresh it quick, make sure nothing's changed in the last 15 minutes since I started recording this video. But basically, we have the Spurs and the Pistons. I am waiting on this Cade Cunningham news. I need to figure out if he's going to play or not before I make a play on the Pistons. Same thing with the Spurs with Castle. I kind of want to wait and see if he's going to be in. Nothing to worry about in Orlando and Charlotte. Golden State and Miami, Steph Curry is potentially going to be out. I think he's questionable. I think he plays, quite honestly, but we'll wait and see on that one. I don't want to make a play on like a Jimmy Butler first half under or something if Steph Curry gets ruled out late. If Curry is in, I might like the Draymond Green PRA over. We'll talk about that a little bit later. For the Heat, Duncan Robinson doesn't really impact too much for me. Dallas, no Anthony Davis tonight. For the Knicks, no Brunson and no McBride. So that boosts a bunch of these other guys in the rotations. Hawks, no Capella, and obviously no Jalen Johnson for the season, so that boosts the rest of the team. There is a play I like in the Hawks tonight. Same thing with Houston. Houston has a normal rotation, but I did post a few plays in the Discord talking about them. For Memphis and Utah, no John Morant tonight for Memphis, but that's been pretty common over the last few years, so we do have a decent sample of games without Ja. For Utah, no Collins, no Markkanen, and maybe no Clarkson, so that really impacts this entire rotation. Sexton is in, so that does give a knock to Collier. I'll talk about that later as well. For Cleveland, no Donovan Mitchell tonight. That's a boost to everyone else in the team. Oklahoma City, for Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, both of them are questionable. I need to wait and see and figure out if they're going to play or not before I make a play, because when Holmgren plays, I take SGA unders. When Holmgren doesn't play, I take his overs. So that's definitely contingent on what happens with Chet Holmgren tonight. And then for the Kings, it looks like just Malik Monk is questionable now. Sabonis was upgraded from questionable to probable. Looks like he's going to play. So that is promising to see. Now let's head over to Outlier and take a look at some of the plays that I have for tonight. So the first player we're going to talk about here is Miles Bridges, over 22.5 points and assists in games with LaMelo Ball active and Brandon Miller out, because Miller's going to be out the whole year, but he is a high usage guy. We'll filter for the full season. Bridges has gone over in 17 out of 26 games, but if we even filter that in further, go into home games, it's 9 out of 13, but it's really 9 out of his last 10. He's been on a nice run lately since all this has been happening in the home games. So I'm going to throw out these first 3 games. One of them was because his minutes were down. And honestly, his usage probably wasn't the same. You see a nice increase in usage about 6 games ago, where he's pretty much averaging 18 to 20 shots in most games there. So I don't expect a 46-point output again, but I do think he does go over this 22.5 points and assists. You see, he does average 25.9 in this sample, obviously boosted by the 48, but it's still a pretty good play nonetheless. Second play here, we're sticking with the same game. We're going to go with Paolo Banchero, under 28.5 points. Main reason for this, the Magic are on the second leg of a back-to-back tonight. So if I filter for games with back-to-back for this season, it's only been 4 games for Banchero, but it's been 3 to 4 games where he's gone under the points. Obviously, the one blow-up spot where he had 43 points against the Timberwolves. But for 2023, it was 11 out of 14 games too. So that really means he's gone under in 14 out of 18 games over the last 2 seasons, which is 78% on the second leg of a back-to-back. Being out away only boosts it even more, goes to 9 out of 12, and it's always tough playing on the second leg of a back-to-back on the road. So we're going to go with this under 28 points on Paolo Banchero. Next player, we're going to head over to Hawks and Rockets. We're going to go with Zachary Risasher, over 13.5 points and assists as well. So I'm on this points and assists train tonight. It's really just a prop that I take pretty often this year, because more often than not, like, the assists just give you a boost to it. You're really banking on the points. So I take players who can go over on the points alone, and whatever assists they get on this is really just a boost to the prop. But basically, on the season, we have no Capella tonight, and we have no Jalen Johnson for the rest of the season for Atlanta. So we'll filter for these games, and it goes to 11 out of 14 to the over for Researcher. But if I filter for just away games, it goes to 8 out of 8, averaging 19.9 PNA per game. So this is definitely a play that I'm going to have on my card tonight on Underdog and on PrizePicks. And then the last official play that I'm going to talk about here is Isaiah Collier under 5 first half points. This has actually been a play that I've been very recently. Missed it a couple times here, but it's been a money printer for us. I think at one point it was like 6.5 or something too. So we were getting some really good value on this play. But basically, I want to filter for games without Collins, without Markkanen, but then with Sexton in. Like I mentioned before, I wanted to talk about that Sexton does have a large impact on what happens with Utah every night. On the season, you see Collier has gone under in 8 out of 10 games in this situation here. And if I filter it down to games just with Collins out and with Sexton active, it's actually 19 out of 20 out of 22 games. So that's one push there. But I have to throw out these first few games too, because you can see his minutes were a lot less. His role in the rotation just wasn't the same as it has been for these last 15 games or so. So I would throw away the first 6 games. I know there was these 2 games where he had the 12 and the 15 minutes. He still went under in those, but I'm really just going to focus on all these games from January 5th on, and that's basically, only 2 losses in 16 games. So very solid play with Isaiah Collier under first half points. The first half points market, this is really only on PrizePicks earlier in the day. You have to wait until later in the day to get it on FanDuel and Underdog Fantasy. And sometimes you do get a better line on Underdog Fantasy than what's out there on PrizePicks. So if you don't use Underdog Fantasy, sign up with using code LayTheHouseRM, and they'll give you up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you initially sign up as a deposit match bonus. So always nice taking advantage of those bonus offers when they're there. Now, one final play I want to talk about today, but I'm not actually betting it. And I'm going to talk about why I'm not betting it. And this is a play that I've been on pretty much the entire season. I've been betting it almost every single game this year. So this Trae Young under 12.5 first half points. You can see he's gone under this number in 47 out of 66 games this season. If you look at the just away games, it's been 19 out of 31, so not as strong. But why am I not going to play this play when it's hitting at a 71% hit rate on the season? Well, for games without Capella this year and games without Jalen Johnson, the sample goes to 10 out of 15. Still a decent number, right? I mean, 67%, 2/3 of the time, he is going under this number. But if I filter for away games, he's actually only gone under in 3 out of 8 away games in this situation. And it seems like to me, and I've noticed this entire season, because honestly, I've bet this prop along with the first half PRA for Trae Young almost every game this year. His home games are when he goes under on the first half. Super strong trend to the under on the first half for Trae Young on these points and the first half PRA. He's a really good player. I'm not knocking Trae Young by any means. He's just a slow starter, and then he goes off in the second half. I had someone tell me in my Discord the other day, he goes, yeah, I always take his first half under, and then I always take his Green Goblin over on the points, which is like the alternate line on PrizePicks, and then I even take his over on the Demon line on points too, or I take the second half prop because he always comes out to play in the second half. So really good strategy on Trae Young. I think we have a really good read on him this year, so I'm going to probably avoid him on the road for these last few games or so, for the next month or so. But when he is at home, I'm going to be all over this first half points under, and the same thing with the first half PRA under. So hopefully you guys like this video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. I'm trying to get consistent with these guys for you all. Join the free Discord so you can see all my free plays every day. If you want to see my premium plays, that link is also in the description below. And also drop a comment on what your best play for the day is today. I'm always interested to see who other people are on every single day. So best of luck on your plays tonight, and I appreciate you guys for watching.